All right, welcome to another episode of Fuck You Dad, everybody. This week we got a very special guest, hilarious comedian, podcaster. You all know him, Mark Norman. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. Good space you got there. White brick. Nothing wrong with that.
Thanks. No, it's just a green screen of a better apartment. That's all we have.
Is that true?
These are both green screens. Yeah.
That's all it is. That is all it is.
Oh, this isn't an actual studio. We're all. I'm in my little brother's room with a green screen right now.
See, this is genius because the apartment's doesn't look that great, so it's still believable. You know, if you had a fucking skyline back there with a bridge scape and all this, that would be phony. But it's kind of like Steve Martin has a toupee, but the toupee is receding. So
yeah. So they're like, he's balding, but he still looks good. That kind of
exactly
going for.
Like, that's a good apartment, but he doesn't have health care. Like, that's pretty
right. Yeah, you got that. Exactly. You might have a dog or like a labradoodle, but yeah, you didn't finish college.
So, Mark, we've been asking people during this COVID thing, like, what's their last show? But since things are opening up, those are kind of boring. But like, what during like the COVID time, what was I would say like the show that was like the most like crazy wacky, like not supposed to be a comedy show kind of thing?
Oh wow, yeah, good question. I mean, I did a show on a boat that sucked.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, can I go into
please.
that? Because I was supposed to do one of those, but it got canceled. But the boat was in the harbor. Was it like one of those, or was it traveling?
It was in the harbor, but it just felt so dumb because you're like, we could just do this on the pier, but I know because we're on a boat, it feels like it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just docked and we're like bumping into the pier thing, and we're tied up. I don't know. It was silly.
Right.
And I'm sure every comedian has those dumb riffs like, oh, ahoy there. And everyone's like, okay, all
everyone's
right.
like, I'm going to jump off and drown myself.
That was a big one. Did I lose you? I feel like I'm drifting away from you guys. I need a lifesaver. Help me out here. A lot of that.
I'd rather just get COVID than do that awkward show. Like, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, you know?
Yeah, I know. And then the weird thing is like we're all sitting together without masks on, but we're on a boat. So everybody's okay. It's kind of like how if you sit at a table, you can take the mask off, but I'm still could give you COVID. I'm still talking to a guy. I don't know. It's all very silly. We like to make these weird rules, like in airports, you got to be distant. But then when you get on the plane, it's like you're 2 inches away from each other in line, putting your bags up, and then I eat a Cheez-It next to a guy. It's all cuckoo bananas.
No, yeah, it's
or if you're at
for the most part.
Yeah, if you're at the airport Chili's for some reason, you can have your mask off. But anywhere else in the airport, like you gotta have a mask on. It's a Kooksville. I saw you started doing those skateboarding videos though. Very impressed.
Oh, dang. I mean, I just did one. Some guy hit me up. He's 21 years old. He said, "Hey, I run a skateboard vlog. I heard you used to skate. Would you want to come on?" I was like, all right, I'm old. I'm 37. I'm gay. I don't know if it's going to work out. And I guess the camera clicked on and I got some juices flowing and I just whipped out a kickflip and a shove it and a board slide. It all came back. And then I was sore for like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's how that shit goes. But did you do that as like a kid? Were you like a huge skateboard kid?
Huge skateboard kid was my whole life. It's all I cared about. The way I am about comedy now, that's how I was with skating. Like, got to learn a new trick, got to do it down some stairs, got to get it on tape. You know, that whole thing. We would skate from like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Holy shit. So did you like shit on scooter kids? Were scooter kids around?
Nah, we were more shitting on rollerbladers.
That was okay.
Yeah.
There's always a hierarchy in those. I was a scooter kid and the skateboarders were always like fucking IUD pussy. And I'm like, I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah, I was a scooter kid too. And it always felt like the community college of like fun transportation.
Yeah.
It was like, that is so low effort. I tried to be a skateboarder hard because I liked the look and I thought they were the peak cool, but I was just too fat. And like my ollies would look like split second manuals. Like everyone, I'd blame it on the board. Like I was a bitch. I was awful. Yeah. Like I would just be like, it's a bad day for the board. And everyone's like, Kenny, you can't. You're 300 pounds. Like you're never going to be able to have the will to bounce off the ground, you know?
I mean, scootering the tough thing about the scootering is it's like 3 inches wide. I just felt like my foot was flopping off, my heel was hitting the ground. I tried it, but it was too skinny for me. I needed a little more width on that board.
That girth.
Yeah, I need some girth.
So was your dad like a supportive skateboarding parent? Like, did he get you a new board for Christmas, that kind of thing?
Totally. I mean, because, optics wise, skateboarding seems like this bad boy chain wallet, graffiti, drinking 40s, right. The movie Kids. But it's really just, what's the difference between that and soccer, except for the fact that it's not a team. But, it's like you're out, you're doing stuff, you're in the sunshine, you're exercising, you're not playing video games all day. So I think he was like, great. Because I was a piece of shit kid. So I think he was like, you have a thing you care about, you're passionate, do it, please. So he loved it.
There's one impressive thing about you, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's also funny because, when you're a skateboarder, you get obsessed with the clothing. And my dad would be mowing the lawn in like a World Industries shirt with like a little devil flicking off a cop, So that was kind of fun to see when he would wear my shirts that got in the laundry.
Was he like because you said you were a piece of shit kid? Would you get in trouble with him, or were you like scrapping with the law kind of thing?
More law, curfew, drinking, open container, drinking and driving, suspended, fighting, whatever it was, shit like that, like young boy shit.
Yeah. What would you say? Do you have like the angriest he's ever been at you, or the angriest you've ever been at him?
Oh my God. Well, let's see. So my dad was the scary dad. He was the shit. You hear him in the driveway. Dad's home.
That was
now
mine
he's on
too.
antidepressants. It's so weird because he's like the sweetheart puppy dog. I'm like, I still flinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was scary dad, but he was so checked out because he was at work. He was like a workaholic, briefcase, suit wearing lawyer guy. So if I got in trouble, he usually didn't find out about it unless it was a big deal. Like they called my house, the school called me, or the cops showed up or something like that. So that's when he would really fucking hit the fan.
Did he so my dad's British, right?
Wow.
And he was exactly like your dad, like briefcase, and he would fly off the handle, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the flying off the handle in the British accent is like, that's super fear, because it's like primal, colonialism kind of shit.
I feel like a colonist.
Yeah.
I'm with you. That's terrifying.
Yeah, man. So like, did you guys didn't get any, like, you said you had some stories to get into pre-pod.
Yeah. My dad, let's see. He had a Lexus. It was like a, Craigslist, 10 years old Lexus, but to him it was like this is my Lexus.
This is the Lexus.
My life's work. Yeah.
Yes. He was like a backroom lawyer guy, like ambulance chase guy, but he had a Lexus, god damn it.
Yeah.
All of his suits were ill-fitting, and they didn't match, the top didn't match the bottom. It'd be like a green pants with a blue top, whatever. But he was a hardcore dude. Like he drank Schlitz out of the can hot. Just old school dude.
My grandpa used to drink Schlitz with a handful of salt, or like a sprinkle of salt. And after his funeral, everyone was like, let's have a Schlitz with salt for Papa. And I was like, this is like
probably what killed him. You're like, that's why he's 55. You're at the funeral. Right. I love beer and just some salt just to fucking end it quick.
Schlitz is dehydrating enough. Let's get some high sodium going. Yeah, that's crazy. But and my dad, I remember a vivid, because my mom would go out of town and she would kind of cook and everything. So my dad, when she would go out of town, Dad would just order in, which was always a treat. We get Chinese food or KFC or something. But I remember one time we were at breakfast and my mom was out of town and he poured granola and he goes, "Do we have any milk?" And I said, we were out of milk. And he just poured grape juice in it and ate it. And I was like, oh,
Jesus.
He doesn't fuck around.
That's either you're broke as shit or you're a 13-year-old who's like can't make food without your mom. Like you have no idea how to operate. Yeah. Right. No idea how to exist.
No, I see that as like you're in the army and you're trying to get out and you're like, I don't know, I got to make them think I'm crazy. I mean, oatmeal with grape juice. I'm on the edge,
Yes. It was definitely Dad's house. He also wore a robe with nothing under it.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking like towel fabric robe, purple, So now he's got these hairy ass crazy dad legs crossed at the table. The doorbell rings. He gets up. Everything flops out. He's got these crazy balls like an old Doberman.
Holy shit!
It was wild.
The first sighting of, maybe this is a little bit personal of me, but the first sighting of your dad's dick is that's shocking.
Shocking, terrifying, huge.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, the darkness too. You're like, oh, is that my future?
Yes. The crazy pubes. He never shaved a pube. And he would also wear a t-shirt with no underwear. So I'm like, you were so close.
Just the ugliest look that there is on a man.
Yes.
T-shirt showing off the balls.
I used to have an old joke. My dad he would sleep with no bottoms on and a t-shirt, and the shirt said "World's Greatest Dad." And I was like, Jesus, this is mixed signals here.
Did he buy it for himself?
No, I got it for him.
Oh, okay.
It didn't sound like you were gifting him that shirt anytime soon. So I was like, did he just buy these? Like, someone's got to appreciate me. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, I want to say great dad, provider, gave a shit,
absolutely.
But terrifying.
We always put a disclaimer on every episode that every dad is actually great that we talk to. So
isn't it funny to think about? I don't know how old you guys are, younger than me, but like I'm late 30s. I'm my dad's age or whatever when he had me, and he's in a suit every day. He had a hair comb. He would shave every day. I'm wearing, sweatpants, sneakers, a shirt from a fucking podcast company, and hungover.
It's wild because like my dad, when he was 24, moved to this country, and he tells me this every day. Moved to this country with nothing, worked my ass off, 2 college degrees, and what do you do? Fucking off on the internet. So it is like, I am, 26 and doing a podcast about how much I hate you. So
yeah, it's true. I mean, we have it so good now. You can just tell by our clothing and like how we live. It's like, oh, today I'll get up. Oh, I tweeted something today. I did something. They have to like get up and commute and do taxes and shit. I'm like, oh, I got an app for that.
No, absolutely.
So, can I ask, Mark, because you mentioned on other podcasts some little thing you did, Joe Rogan or something, that your dad created, so he bought the mansion in a bad neighborhood, and then he started a bed and breakfast inside?
Yeah. My dad, back to the Lexus, he was always obsessed with looking successful. Maybe he wasn't that successful, but we looked like it. We had this huge house. He's got a Lexus. We have a nanny who was a trans black woman at the time. And I mean, in the house, it was disheveled. Everything was broken. Lights barely worked. A lot of the plumbing didn't work. There were like 3 good rooms, and we made those rooms into the B&B because they couldn't. The rest of the house was cobwebs and like windows with the duvetine flapping,
Yeah.
Was there hazard tape over the rest of the house? Like, how would you keep the Airbnb? How would you keep the fucking bed and breakfast people out of that house?
Well, they didn't have a key. There was a door leading to the other side, and we had that, because we would have to go in and change the sheets and vacuum and all that shit. So it was a night and day with the houses. Like, it was the West Wing, which is not the TV show, but it was like the West Wing was the B&B part. And there was a whole section that was beautifully refurbished and everything. And the rest of the house we ran out of money. Like, we couldn't fix the whole thing. The house was too big. So they never saw the other part.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So did your dad, who came up with that idea?
I think my dad and mom, they have this big house. They need income. They're both working like crazy. So I think it was pre-Airbnb, but they're like, we have all these rooms. We might as well rent them out. And they got an ad in the newspaper. They were in the phone book. And people found it because we live right by the French Quarter, which is like the main attraction strip in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So people lived with us all the time. And it was like musicians and, businessmen and Chinese people coming in for like a convention, all kinds of just people in and out of my house. It was very strange.
Yeah. That's I imagine that your dad didn't like pitch it to you or whatever. You were just one day as a kid was just like, hey, our house is a hotel now.
Yes, exactly. And you got to help fluff the pillows, Dickless, So it was a lot of that. We were in the newspaper. I remember I have clippings of me like holding onto my dad's leg, and he's cutting a ribbon to the
Oh, so it was like a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it's a whole family bed and breakfast.
everything was in the paper back then. You know, you farted, they put it in the paper. So, you know, it was the early
only way to
90s.
promote. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You had
That's
no
all
choice. It was the paper. Literally, no one knew about it.
Yeah, it's like saying you were in Facebook. Whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think that's also why my dad was so pissed, because he was always just under the gun, stressed out. Things were going on. We got robbed a lot. It was a bad neighborhood. So he was just always on edge. So if I did something, he was like, now you're ruining my life more.
Yeah.
You know? You're supposed to be on my side. But yeah, I skipped over a question. I feel bad. Because there was a couple things that I did that really pissed my dad off. I wrecked the Lexus. That pissed him off. Then 5 years later, he told me, he's like, you never said you're sorry. And that's why I was so mad at you. And I was like, okay.
Oh, I hate it when those things, and it's like 5 years ago and you're like, oh shit.
I know. You're like 16, just,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All I had to do was say, I'm sorry. And I wish I had known that. I would have done it in 2 seconds. I was pissing myself. But one time, I don't know what it was, but 2 things that flipped my dad crazy. I used to drink a lot when I was younger. I was such a messed up, weird, introverted, outcast douche.
Well, to be fair, your house was getting broken in all the time. Like, it doesn't sound like
it sounds like you had to chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I would drink too. I'd be like, I don't know what's going down when I go to sleep.
This might be my last night. Let's celebrate.
All right, boys, let's have some beers.
Throw a couple Zan on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just always uncomfortable till I was like 34. I don't know what it was. I was just constantly uncomfortable. I was nervous. I had anxiety. So I would just drink to try to fuel that or subdue those feelings. Yeah, and my friends were all these kind of big, mook, crazy guys because I was kind of crazy. They were crazy. They're the guys who would pull a fire alarm or get into a fight at a party or steal stuff, whatever it was, hooligans. And one time, me and my girlfriend were out in my friend's truck. We got shit-faced. I black out. I don't remember any of this. And they dropped me off on my porch. They had to like walk me up the steps, put me on the porch. My girlfriend's trying to drag me into my parents' house. And they go, hey, Mark. And they just shoot my house up and me and my girlfriend with a paintball gun.
Jesus.
Yeah. It was a different time. That's what friends did back then, you know?
You're shoot up and we didn't think, oh my God, tragedy. Like, it was a paintball gun. It was a fun time. It wasn't.
Yeah. I don't remember any of this, by the way, but I woke up yellow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So of course my dad's like, we're under attack. He was in the army. So
there's PTSD. He's like behind the couch with a grenade. He's like, Charlie's not taking me out this time, you motherfuckers. Right.
So he kicks the door open. You know, it's 5 a.m. on like a Wednesday. He's pissed. He kicks the door open. He's like, what the fuck is going on? He drags me inside. He tells my girlfriend, he's like, you upstairs. And he spanks me in the hallway,
oh my God.
Which he's never done before, by the way. He just didn't know what to do. He was like malfunctioning, you know?
Yeah.
He spanks me in the hallway and he sits me down in the living room and he's trying to like lecture me, but I was laughing because I was like, he's spanking me.
Yeah.
And he kind of pissed him off more. So he made me go upstairs. He brought my girlfriend down. He's like, what's wrong with our son? Why is he drinking so much? And the next day I had to go to like alcohol therapy or whatever, which was a nightmare, by the way. But that was one time he was the maddest.
Yeah. I mean, I had a sort of a similar thing where, you know, a bunch of my friends TP'd my house. But my dad blew it because his thing is tidiness. He's this British guy, super tidy.
Interesting.
And I remember him waking me up with like the fury of fucking God and being like, Nicholas, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like me.
Yeah.
Dead. Like I didn't.
Right.
It's not like I did this. My friends are fucking morons.
Yes. My dad had a thing about like respect. One time we used to live next to this like old folks home and we had a different house. And my friend, as a joke, threw a piece of pizza into their pool. You can see their pool from my bedroom.
That still gets me now. I'm like, that's funny. That's
funny.
It's a good bit. Pizza in a pool bit. That's a great closer.
Old people freak out. There's an old guy with the scooper, you know. He almost falls in. It's a good time. Yeah. But my dad flees like, those are old people. How dare you? And I was like, well, my friend did it. He's like, these are shitty friends. And yeah, the whole thing was a nightmare. I remember when I got sent to that alcohol class, it was like 8 a.m. and he just picked me up and put me in the shower and then turned it on. I'm in full clothing. I'm in jeans and a t-shirt and shoes. Put me in and just turned it on and goes, you're going to this class and you're going to like it. And I was like, you know, I'm like still drunk.
Oh, kind of nice that he wanted you to like it.
Yeah,
I
guess so.
You're gonna enjoy it too. There's arts and crafts. There's a lot of fun parts to it. I saw the pamphlet.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a nightmare. But I went to the class, and I remember the woman was like, anything problematic at home? And I'm like, I could really fuck my dad over and say that he beats me, but
Yeah,
I
he
didn't do
spanked
it.
me last night and then made me come here.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have all these welts on you. You could have really sold it from the paintballs.
That's true. That's a good point. I still had the yellow in my hair. It was a nightmare, but
yeah, they knew. They're like, anything problematic? You're like yellow, fucking hungover, welts on you. They're like, what did you just come from?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So tough time, but I don't blame him really. Looking back, he had it rough. I mean, one time we were riding the streetcar, me and my dad. It was like 8 at night, 9 at night, and there was some street toughs, on the streetcar, and they were kind of mocking us. And my dad was fuming. And then we got off the streetcar, and they all stuck their head out and spit on my dad. Spit on him.
Holy shit!
I'm like 9.
God.
Like, what the hell? How could someone be so evil to someone you love? It was like a racial thing, but it was, he just was like, like a pencil snapped in his hand. He was so mad, but he had to just take it and walk home. They were like 14.
Right. Yeah. What's he gonna? Your dad's not gonna just beat the shit out of a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah. Then he took me behind a building and beat me up.
Just to get his anger out.
Yeah. But I remember feeling bad for him at that point. I don't know. I think it sucks being a dad, and
you don't get a lot of respect.
Does.
Yeah.
Definitely does. I mean, like my dad got mad at people in public, but I would feel a little bit bad for him because I'm like, I actually made you mad. Like,
right.
You blew up at the waiter, but that's because I wouldn't eat my French fries. So
right.
It was the last straw with the waiter for sure.
Yeah. You start to see why dads leave. They're like, deadbeat dad walked out. We got a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, I get it. I suck. I was
it's the most understandable dad. Like, you're like, oh no, he just saw this and he's like, I'm out. This is too much. Right. The kid will like me more when I eventually show up. I'll be a hero. I'll be cool.
Exactly.
I stay here. I do a horrible job. It's like, it's like quitting before the boss hates you. That's all that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some rough times and scary dad. Also, my dad was very efficient. Like one time I got into a fist fight at school, and my dad had to come into school and have a conference with the other kid and his dad and the principal. And my dad was like, 2:30 on a weekday. So my dad's like, all right, let's get this going. What are we doing here? And they were like, okay, we need to just go. Why are the kids fighting? And then the other dad was like, we got to really talk to these kids and make sure. And he was like, kids fight. What are you going to do? They look fine. I got to get back. I got a 9 o'clock or whatever. And they were like, sir. And he was like, all right. I'm listening. And it was kind of fun for me to watch my dad be like, this is stupid. I know you're adults as well, but I got a job to do. Like, you guys handle it. You're at school.
He literally just left an actual trial and then has to go to like a bullshit kid trial. Like, we have to talk about why these two kids are fighting.
Yeah.
He's on death row. He's going to be dead.
Yeah, right.
I gotta get back.
I have to talk about why other people are fighting with guns, they're fighting too. So that was fun. But yeah, scary dad, busy dad, temper dad. My brother was a vegan and my dad hated that because he's like, you're not getting meat. You need the nutrients. My brother was goth, which is like a dad's worst nightmare.
Oh my God. Yeah, no.
Oh,
no
that's
wonder.
why he
didn't
liked
mind skateboarding at all. You're like, you're cool. You're getting laid at least. You're going out and living your life.
Yeah.
Your brother's not eating meat. He's wearing makeup. You're like, I don't know what's going on with this kid. This guy, at least has friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
You're still cutting yourself, but at least you're trying to do something like athletic about it,
Right. Yeah, totally. So he was fine with that, but I'm trying to think of other times he lost his shit because he would fucking lose.
Did you ever lose your shit at him? Was that ever a thing? I know you're probably not one to do that. I know you're not a confrontation kind of guy.
I took it all out on booze and drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
I took it out at night. But here's one. 2000, the year 2000 was a big New Year's night. Obviously, it's a millennium change. Y2K was buzzing.
Oh yeah.
Went to the biggest party on the planet, out in a field, kegs everywhere, a band, pyrotechnics, everybody's getting laid and all this shit. It's 2000, the year 2000 was huge. So I had the best night of my life. I guess I didn't tell my parents. I came back and my dad flipped. I walked in the door, I got some tinsel on my face and I'm just feeling great. And he's like, what the hell? We didn't know where you were. And he was just snapped on me. And it was a whole 180. And that was the thing about my dad. You never knew. He was like a cat. You know, sometimes you pet a cat and it just snaps.
Yeah.
That's how my dad was.
My dad was the same way. We'll get out of here, but I've always wanted to. It's a short story. It's just another. But I had friends over one time, and my mom made this big dinner, and then she left to go do a mom PTA thing or whatever. So it was just my friends and my dad at the house.
Yeah.
And me and my friends have had all the food. We're just going crazy. We're 12. We're just like everything's going in the mouth. It's all gone. And my dad, we're downstairs. And my dad comes to the kitchen, which is upstairs from the basement. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I just heard, "Where the fuck is my rice? Where the fuck?" And I looked around. Everyone's like looking at each other. And all the plates are clean except for my buddy Brad. Just big plate of rice. Just only rice. And we're like, we can hear him going down the stairs. And Brad ran to the toilet and dumped the rice.
He's like,
yeah. He's like, they're coming, they're breaking in. And he's shoving the rice in the toilet and trying to flush. And we're all like getting in front of him. And he's like, "Which one of you motherfuckers ate my rice?" And he's like, "I've been working all day. I feel like shit. I just want me rice pilaf." And I go, Dad, it's. I think we ate it all, or mom, maybe mom has it.
My God!
You threw your mom under the bus. You
well, she's not gonna get hit. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she would.
Yeah.
But yeah,
one more, and I'll leave.
Yeah, rip one.
My dad had a real thing with respect. Again, I say it. So like if a waiter was mean to him or just forgot about him, he would lose it. So one time we were at Popeyes and he's like, "Your mom's out of town. Let's go get Popeyes and that'll be your dinner. Case closed." I was like, "Okay, great." We go to Popeyes. He's in the suit. It's 5 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon. The place is packed. We're the only white people in there. And he's just sitting there and he's like, "Why isn't our order ready? All we ordered was a couple of things. Why isn't it ready?" And I'm like, I don't know. And he would just start fuming because he's like, "This is a racial thing. They're disrespecting us. I don't know what this is." And I'm like, "Take it easy, Dad. You're in a suit. You're the only white guy. You look like the man." You know? And I was like, who knows? And he's like, it's called fast food. What the fuck is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. Just take it. And he's like shaking. He's like Russell Crowe in LA Confidential. He snaps the back of the chair and he's like, "God damn it, my son is hungry." And I'm like, no, put this on me. And he's like, "My son is hungry. We've been waiting here 25 minutes. And they're like, "Here you go, sir." He's like, "You're damn right." And like, I had to be like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like 10, "So sorry, everybody. We're good. He's on roids," or whatever it is. And we got out of there. But just the littlest thing could flip him.
God damn.
That confirmed so many things about white people to black people in that Popeyes. They were like, "Yep. Yep.
Yes,
see,
I know. So true. You want to be like, "No, it's not us. We're one of the good ones."
Yeah,
Take my
I
wallet.
Skateboard and I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm open-minded. I voted for Gore.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. Do you want to plug anything? Well, obviously Tuesdays with Stories is great, and your new one, We Might Be Drunk.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, We
Good
Might Be
pull.
Drunk. Excellent.
Oh, thanks. It's pretty boozy, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I wanted to listen to was you and Sam getting drunk. I don't want you guys soberly being like basketball or whatever Sam talks about.
Right. I hear you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's fun, and this is a great premise, by the way, because everybody's got a dad story.
That's what we thought. Yeah.
Great call. It's offensive to people without dads, though. Oh boy. Somebody will get you on that eventually.
Yeah. No, that'll be it. That'll be the end.
Yeah.
The end before the beginning. They're like, we'll make $30 on Patreon, and they'll go that this is this is ableist towards dads, and then me and Nick we won't even have that.
I actually saw that on Mother's Day. Somebody was like, "Some women can't be mothers, and this is offensive to them." You're like, "Oh my God, stop looking for problems."
It's almost like having a microscope, and you're like, "There's got to be somewhere that has a problem." You're like, "Let's hunt down the one quadriplegic, no mother, no dad. You can't say anything. You're gonna offend Phil."
Which kind of shows how good things are when you're like, "Oh, okay, the bachelor's black, but I know I can find a problem here. Antebellum dance. Bring her up."
Yeah, you gotta go through a textbook and like try to look. You're like, "That looks like this other." Yeah, you have to do forensics to find a problem. There aren't
yes, then you're doing okay. You know, just enjoy life. The sun is shining. Things are fun. We have OnlyFans. Live it
that
up.
many.
So yeah, thanks. Out to Lunch is on YouTube. Check that out if you haven't. It's my stand-up special. Tuesdays with stories. We might be drunk, and praise Allah. Come see me on the road.